I'm Karyn Bryant with an MMA Heat news update. Saturday night, October 24th, the UFC is coming to the Staples Center here in Los Angeles. It's going to be Lyoto Machida versus Shogun Rua. Shogun's going to be trying to take away that light heavyweight belt. But on the main event of the undercard, which will air on Spike TV, heavyweights Barry and Antoni Hardonk will go at it. I took the time to stop by the hotel and catch up with Barry. Here's what he had to say on the eve of his big fight. I want to know your thoughts. It's after weigh-in. What do you do the rest of the evening to get your head in the right space?
I mean, the reality of it is that after the weigh-ins, there's pretty much no turning back. I mean, that's just scary. I mean, that's not as scary as getting your hands taped. Then you know you're really in the middle of a fight. But weigh-ins are over. Come back, we eat, just sit around and try to relax for the rest of the night, and until it's time to go to bed, which is just always impossible to do, and until the next day.
Yeah, I would imagine that it's got to be kind of hard to wind down. I mean, you know, part of you wants to stay amped and stay ready for the fight, but at the same time, I'm sure part of you wants to just go, oh my God, just let me get it out of my head.
I know that's what the hard part is that we've been amped since we landed here Tuesday, and I mean, how amped can you be? How long can you say, like all the way for so many days? Eventually, it just turns into. Like by tonight, even right now, I'm like, oh man, we're fighting tomorrow for sure, because I don't even really want to anymore. I mean, because you're walking around the lobby around all these other fighters that I've seen on TV. I've been watching these guys since I came up, and then I see my guy, and every day I see him, he's getting taller. Like Tuesday, he was a big dude. Wednesday, he's a big guy. I saw him today at the weigh-ins, and I'm like, come on, man, you're cheating. This is obvious. Like, you're obviously doing something you shouldn't be doing. Like, he's getting bigger and hairier. Like, he looks like a monster now. And I know that's all like my imagination that's just, you know, bringing it all and making it happen. But man, this is the kind of thing that you have to ask yourself, what am I doing? Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, no, well, as much as I love the sport, obviously, I still think you guys are kind of some of the craziest sons of bitches I've ever met in my lifetime.
No, I mean, this is not for everybody else. I tell it to anybody. There are millions of people who claim to be fighters. No, I mean, but the ones of us that are, we're different. We're mutants. We're just a totally different breed of person, because you have to be off in order to do this. None of us are regular. You have to be off in order to be able to inflict, you know, choosingly say, I'm going to go and possibly hurt myself or hurt someone else. Like, I'm a pretty sensible guy, but I mean, I've even got to be off a little bit to be doing this myself.
Well, let's talk. You've brought up a few good points that I want to talk about. First, though, we should sort of touch on your opponent, Antoni Hardonk. You guys have a little bit of history. You've known each other a long time. You've trained together, and yet there's sort of a little bit of a grudge here, backstory about sort of training camps and things. Can you elaborate on that?
Well, I mean, Antoni was one of my closest friends in Amsterdam. The 4 or 5 years that I was there with him, I trained with him. I even trained under the guy. I mean, I've learned a lot from him. He is just a stud kickboxer. He knows the game in and out. I was able to, by training with him, like I said, I learned a lot from him. I don't know if he learned anything from me, but I definitely grew a lot with him as a training partner, along with just being a good friend. Like, he was there for the other side, other than just the punching and kicking. He was there for the philosophical side of it. He was there for the friendship that I needed. Now, I had a little bit of a funny ending with our coach. So I've got nothing with Antoni. Antoni's fine. Antoni and him and I were friends. We're still friends to this day. We spoke today. But I had a little bit of a funny ending with Ernesto, our coach. It didn't really end too smoothly. As a matter of fact, I'm still trying to figure it out. And that was December 18th, 2007. I haven't heard from him since the day I left Amsterdam.
And the deal with that is that you sort of, I don't want to put words in your mouth and say that you idolize this guy, but this is somebody that you really looked up to, trained with him for several years, and the day you said you were leaving, he just said, so? Is that true? That's
pretty much it. He was my hero. He's the reason why I went to Amsterdam. Like, I went to Amsterdam to be under this guy.
I've gone places to be under men too, so don't worry.
I went to Amsterdam to learn from this guy, to meet him. I mean, he was my hero. You know, I mean, he still is. I mean, he still is. We have a little bit of a funny view on certain topics, but still, as an athlete, he's still awesome to me. I will never deny that. I trained with him for years. I mean, we became really good friends, but it just, I don't know, like towards the end, things just started getting kind of like as if I didn't matter. Now, maybe I'm just being a wuss and I'm being too emotional or I'm being too soft. I don't know, but like I really felt like as if when I said that I was leaving, that it didn't matter to him at all. And after 5 years of being friends with somebody, and believing in that friendship and that relationship that you develop, that really sucks and kind of hurts when you can just be written off like that, you know.
Well, now that's something to fight for, though, because, you know, some fighters I've talked to say they like to fight somebody they've got a grudge with. That you and Antoni are friends and stuff, but still there's something in the back of your mind that I feel like you're probably fighting really to prove something tomorrow night.
I mean, I'm validation, possibly. I mean, a validation to say that maybe I am more than what you expected me to be, or in all actuality, this fight is kind of like a big thank you, because I wouldn't be where I'm at now if it wasn't for, you know, what I learned from him, but if it wasn't also for the disregard for me, I wouldn't be here in stateside in the UFC right now, making the career, you know, path that I made if I hadn't been pushed to the side so easily. So there's a lot more going into this fight other than just me and Antoni having a fight.
Any predictions on how things are going to end tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night is either going to be one of two things. It's either going to be a flash, fast over fight, or this fight is going to take some time. I'm more leaning towards this fight's going to take time, because we have very contrasting styles that are going to equal a really good fight. He's very, very, very by the book. I'm extremely unconventional and coming out of left field. Like, I'm inventing things as I'm going along. Like, I'm improvising as I'm going along, whereas he has a set goal, a set game plan. He's very, very strict on line. So if he can get me to settle down and kickbox with him, he's gonna have the upper advantage. If I can get him to fall off of his course, then I'll have the upper hand. So it depends on who can trick the other one into, you know, going off game plan.
All right, well, we wish you the best, and it's time for you, I guess, to get some more food. The beauty of being a heavyweight, huh?
Yeah, that's the best part. Best part. I think I had pizza last night for dinner. I'm gonna have it again.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. That was great.
Thank you.
Yeah.